Distances by Kathe Koja. Originally published in the mid-December 1988 issue of Isaac Asimov's science fiction magazine. Republished in 3 anthologies. Gardner Dozier's The Year's Best Science Fiction 6th Annual Collection in 1989, which was renewed 3 months later under the title Best New SF 3, followed by the Orbit Science Fiction Yearbook 2 in the same year, and Horrible Beginnings in 2003. Read by Darrell T. Smith II for my channel, Quasar Spectra. Distances. Michael, naked on the table, hospital reek curling down his throat, the base of his skull rich with the ache it has had every day since the first one, will probably never lose. He remembers that day, parts of him stone numb, other parts prickling and alive, moving to make sure he still could. Exhilaration and the sense of the jacks. They had said he would not, physically could not, feel the implants. Wrong. Needle slim, they seemed like pylons, silver pillars under skin. He is tall, under the straps. His feet are cold. 3 months post-surgery growth of yellow hair, already curling. Gray eyes glance roams the ceiling, bare peripherals. He shifts a little. The attendant gives him a faraway scowl. The old familiar strap-in. Immobilize the head. Check CNS response. Check for fluid leak. Check, check, check. I am fine, he growls, chin strap digging into his jawline. Just fucking fine. But the attendant, rhino-sized, silent, ignores him entirely. The ceiling monitor lights, bright and unexpected. Now what? A woman, dark hair, wide mouth, cheekbones like a cat's, white, baggy lab coat shoulders. Hi, she says. Doing all right? Just ducky. Tight-mouthed, tin man with rusted jaw. Don't tell me, he thinks. More tests. Who are you? A doctor? She appears to find this pretty funny. Not hardly. I'm your handler. My name's Halloran. Something off-screen causes that wide mouth to turn down, impatient curvature. I'll be in a couple of minutes. We've got a meeting. Yeah, I heard you. And the screen blanks. Check up over, Michael rubs the spots where the straps were. Excuse me, he says to the attendant. That woman who was just on screen, you know her? Yeah, I know her. The attendant seems affronted. She's a real bitch. That charcoal draw, bass whisper from Babyface. Oh, good. I hate synthetics. So, who's he? General Custer? Halloran beside him, scent of contraband chocolate mints, slapping him handfuls. They're part of a 10-pair group in an egg-shaped conference room, white jacket and bald head droning away in accentless med-speak at the chopped-down podium. The air is ripe with dedication. That's Bruce, Dr. Bruce, the director. You're supposed to be listening to this. I am, just not continuously. Dreamy genius meets genius dreamer. Bad kids in the back of the class. Jokes and deadpan, catching on faster than anyone anyway. NASA had done its profile work magnificently this time. The minute of physical meeting told them also that, if it was engineered, and it was, so what? It's great. Maybe all the other pairs feel the same. That's the goal, anyway. NASA believes there must be something better than a working relationship between handler and glasshead, more than a mere professional bond. He always snort like that when he talks. You should hear him when he's not talking. Dr. Bruce. Bidirectional. The sealed fiber interface, or SFI, affords us glass fibers for glass heads. beats an extension cord. Her hair is a year longer than his, but looking in the mirror would show Michael the back of her skull. It's his. Handlers are first-generation glassheads, just technically imperfect enough to warrant a new improved version. But hey, don't feel bad, you're still useful. We can put you to work training your successors, the ones who will fly where you can never go. Train them to do what you want to. Brutally practical demonstration of those who can't principle. But who better to handle a glasshead but a glasshead? Which, by now, I'm sure you're all used to. Dr. Bruce again. But these are extremely important tests. We'll be using the results to determine your final project placement. I know Project Arrowhead is the plum assignment, but the others are valuable, very much so, if not as strictly glamorous. He says it that way, quotes and all, into a room that suddenly stinks of raw tension. Handlers, you'll be final prepping the tandem quarters. Also, there's a meeting at 1700. Subjects, that's you. Sucking on a mint. Hint of chocolate on those wide lips. Actually, I'm more of an object. Under supervisory care for the balance of the day. Everyone, please remember and observe the security regulations. No shootouts in the hallways, huh? No, but don't worry. Halloran gives him a sideways look. We'll figure out a way to have fun. Arrowhead. In-house, they call it Voyager's Big Brother. Far, far away. Proxima Centauri. The big news came from the Van de Kamp Lunar Telescope, where the results of new proper motion studies confirmed what everyone had happily suspected. Bedrock evidence of at least 3 planets. At least. The possibility of others and the complexity of their face-first exploration precluded the use of even the most sophisticated AI probe. Build new ones, right? No, something better. Thus, Arrowhead. And Glasshead Tech gives it eyes and ears with almost zero lag time. This last is accomplished by Boku FTL Comlink, 2 big tin cans on a tachyon string. The tech itself was diplomatically extorted from the Japanese, who nearly 12 years before had helped to construct and launch the machine half of Arrowhead, engineered to interface with a human component that did not yet exist and proved far more difficult to develop. At last, the Glassheads. Manned exploration without live body risk and inherent baggage. Data absorbed by the lucky subject through thinnest fibers jacked from receiving port into said subject's brain. The void, as seen by human eyes. Who wanted a humdrum assignment like sneaking spy-sat or making tanks square dance when you could ride Arrowhead and be Cortez? Hey, state-of-the-art barracks. Michael takes a slow, self-conscious seat on the aggressively new, orthopedically sound bed. Kinda makes you glad this isn't the bad old days when NASA got the shitty end of every stick. Oh, yeah, they thought of everything but good taste. Halloran's voice is exquisitely tired. She settles on the other side of the bed, 1 foot up, 1 dangling, and talks, inevitably, of Arrowhead. As she speaks, her face shifts and changes play across the mobile muscles, taut stalks of bone. She could be a woman talking of her lover, explaining to a stranger. 1 hand rubs the back of her neck, erratic rhythm. It was so nuts, that first group. Everybody just out for blood, especially me and Ferrante. Paranoia, envy, round-the-clock jockeying, rumors of sabotage and doctored scores. Everybody in high gear bastard 24 hours a day. It was all I could think of. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, my heart's going a mile a minute, thinking, did Bruce see my scores today? Really? See them? I mean, does he know I'm the only one who can do this? Her hands stray from neck to hair, weave and twist among the dark locks. Her want shines like a lamp. You got it, didn't you? It's no question, and she knows it. Yeah, I got it. That's how they found out the tech wasn't up to spec. Her voice is absolutely level. Fucked up, you know, in a simulator, when they told me I'd never be able to go in any capacity, and I thought of them all, believe me, when they told me I wanted to just cut out the jacks and die. She says this without self-pity, without the faintest taint of melodrama, as if it is the only natural thing to want under the circumstances. Then they told me about Plan B, which is you. And so you stayed. And so I stayed. Quiet. The sonorous hum of air, recirculating. Low nimbus of greenish light around Michael's head, his glance down, almost shy, trying to see those days, knowing her pain too well to imagine it. Halloran's hand grabs at her neck. He knows it aches. You better not fuck me up, Michael. I won't. I know. Silence. Where another would retreat, he pushes forward. Know what I was doing when they called me? When they told me I made the cut? What? Her hands leave her neck, clasp, unclasp, settle like skittish birds. What were you doing? Singing. Promptly, grinning, delighted with the memory. It was late. They were trying to find me all day, and I didn't know it. I was sure I hadn't made it, and I was sad and pissed. So I went down to the bar and started drinking, and by midnight I was up on stage. And at 20 after 1, I'll never forget it. This guy comes up to me and says, Hey, Michael, some guy from NASA's on the phone. He wants to talk to you. And I knew it. And you know what else? He leans forward, not noticing then that she loves this story almost as much as he does, not surprised that a comparative stranger can share this glee so fully. I'd been drinking all night, right? And I should have been drunk, but I wasn't. Not till he called. He laughs, still floored, having the joy of it all over again. I was so drunk when I talked to him. I thought, boy, you must sound like a real ripe asshole, boy. But I was so happy I didn't give a shit. He laughs again. I hung up and went back on stage and sang like a son of a bitch till 4:30 in the morning. Then I got some eggs and grits and got on the plane for Atlanta. She puts up an eyebrow. What's the name of the band? Chronic 6. Chronics 1 through 5 busted up. It is the perfect question, and nobody's surprised, or surprised that they're not. Early days. The pairs, teams as Bruce calls them, solidify. Very little talk between them, and all of it polite, scrupulous. The glassheads turned handlers are avid to better last time's run. They sniff the way old packmates will, hunt weaknesses and soft spots, watch around the clock. The ones they want most are Halloran and her smart-ass protege, the two-headed monster, the self-proclaimed Team Chronic. Too loud music from their quarters, morning ritual of killer coffee drunk only from twin black handleless mugs, lab coats sleeves slashed and mutilated, Team Chronic in black laundry marker across the back, chocolate mints and slogans and mystic aggression, attitude with a capital A. Her snap and his drawl, her detail stare and his big picture sprawl, their way of finishing each other's sentences, of knowing as if by eyeless instinct what the other will do. Above all, their way of winning. And winning. Everybody hates us. Halloran at meal break, murmuring behind a crust of lunch. They hated me, too, before. Michael shrugs with vast satisfaction. All the world hates a winner. And, smiling now, coffee steam fragrant around bright eyes, they can't even scream teacher's pet because Bruce hates us, too. Bruce doesn't hate us. He loathes us. They're laughing this over when, Halloran! White hand on her shoulder, faint smell of mustard. Ferrante, old foe, pudgy in immaculate whites, handsome, heavy face bare with anger. Behind him, standing like a duelist's second, Ruth Ann Duval, his glass head, her expression aping his. The whole cafeteria is watching. I want to talk to you, Halloran. Feel free. I've had all my shots. Shots is right, Ferrante says. He is obviously on the verge of some kind of fury fit. You're enhanced. Meaning chemically enhanced. Meaning illegally doctored. No inquisitor could have denounced her with more elan. Everyone leans forward, spectators around the cockfighting pit. I'd think that even you would recognize that you're disrupting the integrity of the whole project, but that's never mattered to you, has it? Or, sparing then a look for Michael, who sits finger-linked and mild, looking up at Ferrante with what appears to be innocent interest, your foul-mouthed shadow. Halloran, cocked head, voice sweet with insult. Oh, I know the species of bug that's up your ass. You're stuck in second best, and you can't figure out why. Well, let me make it crystal for you, Slim. You suck. What if I go to Dr. Bruce and ask for a chem scan? What if I jack you into the sanitation system, you big piece of shit? His fat white hand clops on her shoulder, shoving her so she slews into Michael and both nearly topple. Immediately she is on her feet, and the attack, pursuing, slapping, driving him towards the cafeteria door. Michael, beside her, grabs the avenging arms. Let him go, the son of a bitch. And indeed, Ferrante takes almost indecent advantage of the moment, leaves with Ruth Ann Duval, contemptuously shaking her still nearly bald head, following, muttering in her mentor's wake. Fuck you too, tennis ball head! Halloran yells, then notices a strange sound coming from Michael, the grunt of suppressed laughter. It's too much. It blows out of him, hands on thighs and bent over with hilarity, and somebody else joins, and somebody else too, and finally the whole room is laughing, even Halloran, who was first to stop. Let's go, she says. Michael rubs helplessly at his eyes. Tennis ball head. He can't stop laughing. Third week. Long, long day. In their quarters, blast music on, Michael bare-chested on the floor, Halloran rubbing her neck, the muscles thick and painful. Michael watches her, the sore motions. Do your jacks ever hurt? No. Mine do. All the time. No, they don't. They're not supposed to. He raises his brows at her vehemence. Waits. All right, she says at last. You're right. They hurt. But I thought it was because I'm, defective. Fiercely then. You're not defective. It must just be phantom pain. A phantom pain in the ass. He sits up, pushes her hands away, begins to massage her hunched shoulders. Listen, Halloran. His hands are very strong. There isn't anything wrong with me. Got that? Nothing. So relax. He squeezes harder and harder, forcing the muscles to give. So? Squeezing. When do we jack? We've been jacking all damn day. I mean, together. I don't know. Pleasure in her voice, the pain lessening. That's up to Bruce. He does all the scheduling. The hell with Bruce. Let's do it now. What? Even she, rebel, has not considered this. We can't. Already wondering why not, really, if they can jack into the computer. It's never been done, that I know of, not so early. Now we really have to. He's already on his feet, making for his lab coat, taking from the inner breast pocket a 2-meter length of fiber cased in protective cord, swings it gently jack-end like a pendulum at Halloran, a magic tool. You're getting very sleepy. Come on, he says, just for fun. There is no resisting. All right, she says, just wait a minute. There's a little timer on her wall desk. She sets it for 10 minutes. When this time's out, so do we. Agreed? Sure thing. He's already plugged in, conjurer's hands, quicker than her eye. He reaches up to guide her down. Ready? Yeah. They've jacked in simulation to prepare. It is now the difference between seeing the ocean and swimming, seeing food and eating. They are swamped with it, carried, tumbled. At the moment of mutual entry, eyes flash wide, twinned, seeing, knowing, hot with it. Incredible. Michael, it's strong. Stronger than I thought it would. No, I know. Great. Look at this. And faster than belief, thoughts and images burst between them, claiming them, devouring them as they devour, all of each shown to the other without edit or exception, all of it running the link, the living line, a knowing vaster than any other, unthinkably complex. Here, now, us. Look, see this? Without any words. They dance the long corridors of memory and pain and sorrow, see old fears, old joys, dead dreams, new happinesses, bright as silver streamers, nuance of being direct and pure, sledgehammer in the blood, going on forever, profound communion, and finally it is Halloran who pulls back, draws them out, whose caution wakes enough to warn that time is over. They unplug simultaneously, mutual shudder of disunity, a chill of spirit strong enough to pain. They sit back, stunned. The real world is too flat after such a dimensionless feast. Words are less than useless. In silence is comfort, the knowing that one lives who knows you beyond intimacy. Two souls strung hard, adrift on the peculiar fear of the proud, the fear of being forced to go naked in terrible weakness and distress, and finding here the fear is toothless, that knowing and being utterly known could be, is, not exposure, but safety, the doctrine of ultimate trust made perfect by glasshead tech. They move into each other's arms, still not speaking. Tears are running down Michael's face. His eyes are closed. Halloran's hands are ice-cold on his wrists. "We've been jacked all night," she says. "It's almost morning." She can feel his body shaking, gently, the slow, regular hitching of his chest. She has never loved anyone so much in all her life. Is it chance, rogue coincidence, that the next day Bruce schedules a dual jack, a climatizer, as he calls it? Between them there is much secret hilarity, expressed in a smile here, a less than gesture there, and when they do duel, for real and on the record, they swoop and march in flawless tandem, working as one. The simulated tasks are almost ridiculously simple to complete, and perfectly. Bruce still loathes them, but is undeniably impressed. There's something about them, he tells a subordinate, who tells someone else, who mentions it sotto voce at dinner break, mostly to piss off Ferrante, who is nobody's favorite either. Michael and Halloran here, too, but go on eating, serene, prefab biscuits and freeze-dried stew. The tests seem now redundant, and Michael is impatient, growing more so. He lusts for the void, can almost taste its unforgiving null. "What is this shit?" he complains one night, face sideways pressed into a pillow. Halloran's small hands strong on back and buttocks. The damn thing'll be there and back before we ever get a chance to ride it. More tests. NASA is stultifyingly thorough. More tests. Intense. Ruth Ann Duval vomits her morning sausage in simulation. The sausage, of course, is very real. Don't you know, Michael tells her, that's not the way to send back your breakfast? More tests. Fuck! Halloran feels like wrecking something. She contents herself with smoke bomb curses. This is getting to me, you know that? This is really fucking getting to me. Maybe even Bruce, the king of caution, has had enough. The waiting is driving everyone mad, madder than before. The daily speculation, the aura of tension thick as gasoline smoke. Surely they must know, those testers, those considerers of results. Surely they must know who is meant to fly, who is the best. They don't need a victory party. They are a victory party. No one is really, truly happy for them. Michael is no darling, and this is Halloran's second sweep. Besides, Team Chronic has rubbed too many raw spots to be favorites now. All the others can hope for, in their darkest moments, is project failure. But then, of course, they feel like shits. Nobody really wants Arrowhead to fail, no matter who's riding it. The winners are wild in their joy. The strain is broken, the goal achieved, the certainty, blue ribbon and bright confirmed. They order up beer, the closest they can get to champagne, and one by one, team by team, the others drift by to join in. Ferrante and Duval do not, of course, attend, instead spending the evening reviewing data, searching for the flaw that cannot be found. Everyone gets drunk, yells, laughs loud. Even in losing out there is a certain comfort, at least the waiting is over, and their assignments, while, as Bruce noted, not glamorous, are still interesting, worthy of excitement. Everyone talks about what they're going to do, while silently, unanimously, envying the radiant Michael. Somebody takes a picture. Michael, beer in hand, mutilated lab coat and denim cap askew, sneakered feet crossed at the ankles, hair, a halo, and eyes, they are like stars. One arm around Halloran, dark, intent, a flush on her cheekbones, hair pushed messily back, wearing a button on her lapel. If you look very closely at the picture, you can read the words, "Has the world gone mad, or am I at work?" His work area is almost ludicrously bare. The physical jacking in, 2mm cord running to a superconducting supercomputer, that's all. The comlink system is housed elsewhere, in contrast to the manual backup equipment, resembling the cockpit of a suborbital fighter in its daunting complexity. He could be in a broom closet. He has taken almost obsessive care to furnish his domain. Totems of various meanings and symbolisms are placed with fastidious precision. His bicycle bottle of mineral water, here. The remnants of his original lab coat draped over his chair back, here. His handleless black mug, sticky most times with aging grounds, here. Pertinent memos and directives that no one must disturb. In this messy heap here, a bumper sticker that reads, "Even if I gave a shit, I still wouldn't care," pasted at a strict diagonal across the wall before him, and, in the place of honor, the party picture. He loves his work. It goes without saying, but he does. He cannot imagine now another way to live, as if, meeting by chance the lover he has always dreamed of, he thinks of life without her scent and kiss, her morning joke. Riding Arrowhead is all he ever expected, dreamed it to be, only better. Better. He does his work, now guiding Arrowhead through systems check in deceleration mode, real-time course correction to prepare for the big show, and has his play, the sheer flying ecstasy of blackness, emptiness at his fingertips, in his mouth, flowing over his pores, so hungry for mystery that they soak like new sponges. He eats it, all of it, drunk with delight, absorbing every morsel. In their quarters is a remote terminal. It goes unused. Other handlers work their subjects still, guiding them through maintenance routines or geosynchronous dances or link-ups close and far. They are needed to some degree. Their tech has uses. Not that the subjects will not leave them behind to NASA's prosaic mercies, to other work for handlers whose glassheads have outstripped them. They are on their way out. It was the pre-est of preordained, but not just yet. Halloran is useless. Her tech cannot fly Arrowhead. That was graphically proved. She cannot interface directly with the audacious bundle streaking across heaven, cannot in fact guide Michael. He is already far beyond her abilities. Despite any projections to the contrary, she has no function. She is required now only to keep Michael happy, on an even keel. When he stabilizes, breaks completely to harness, she will no longer be even marginally necessary. She has busy work, of course. She charts, she observes, she documents. She is strictly prohibited to use the room remote. It will hurt her. She knows this. She is in the room one twilight, finishing the last of her daily reports. She is wearing a cast-off flight suit, the irony of which only she can honestly appreciate. Her hair is clubbed back in a greasy bow. She refuses to think about the future. Sometimes, at night, her stomach aches so sourly she wants to scream. Knows she will. Doesn't. Hi. Michael, tray in hand, smile he tries to make natural. Her pain makes him miserable. He goes every day where she is technologically forbidden to enter. She stands at the gate while he soars inside. There is never any hint that she begrudges. She would scream like a banshee if ever came the slightest whisper of withdrawal from the project. He is as close as she can get. Even the light of the fire is warmth of a kind. Brought you some slop. Here. And sets it before her, gentle, seats himself at her side. Mind if I graze? Help yourself. He eats, or tries to. She messes the food, rubs it across the plate, pretends. Music? She asks, trying to do her part. Sure. How about some transplant? Okay. She turns it on, the loudest of the blast purveyors, nihilism in 4/4 time. Good run today? Great. You see the sheets? Yeah, outstanding. He cannot answer that. They play at eating for a little while longer, transplant thrashing in the background, then Michael shoves the tray aside. Jack with me, he says, pleads, commands. This is what she lives for. Okay, she says. Inner workings, corridors, a vastness she can know, share. Oh, she tells him. Without words, trying to hide what cannot be hidden, trying to bear the brunt. He sees, knows, breaks into her courage, as he does each time, his way of sharing it, of taking what he can onto his shoulders. Don't, he says. No, she says. Wordless, they undress, fit bodies together, make physical love. He is crying. He often cries now. She is dry-eyed, wet below. The pleasure suffuses, brings its own panacea, is enough for the moment. They ride those waves, peak after peak, trailing down, whispering sighs into each other's open mouths. Her sweat smells sweet to him, like nothing else. He licks her shoulders. He has stopped crying, but only just. To stay jacked this way too long after a day of Arrowhead will exhaust him, perhaps mar his efficiency. She is the one who broaches a stop. "No, don't be an asshole. Yes, no, I am," and she does. He grapples wide-eyed for a moment, tears free his own jack. "Don't do that," he cries, then sinks back, rubbing rough at his neck. "I don't want to hurt you," she says, and the cry she has withheld so sternly for so long breaks out. She weeps, explosion, and he holds her, helpless. What to do? What to do? Nothing. Nothing to do. The symptoms are subtle. Besides the nighttime bellyache, which Halloran has learned to ignore, if not subdue, come other things, less palatable. Her jacks pain her, sometimes outrageously. Her joints hurt. She has no appetite. It is so difficult to sleep that she has requested and received barbiturates. The fact that they gave her no argument about the drugs makes her wonder. Do they, A, just not care if she dopes herself stupid, or B, have another reason, i.e. more requests? Is everybody breaking down? Incredibly, yes. The handlers are beginning, in the startlingly crude NASA speak, to corrode. The glassheads are still okay, doing swimmingly, making hay with their billion-dollar tech. The handlers are slowly going to shit, each in his or her own destructive orbit, but with some symptoms universal. Entropy, Halloran thinks, laughing in a cold, hysteric way. Built-in bye-bye. But it is not built-in. She accesses Bruce's files, breaking their so-called security with contemptuous, angry ease, finds that this situation is as shocking to the brass as it is to the handlers, the ex-glassheads, broken glassheads. No one is discussing it, not that she knows of. In the cafeteria, at the now infrequent meetings, she searches them, looks minute and increasingly desperate, hunting their dissolution. Does Ryerson look thinner? Wickerman's face seems blotchy. Ferrante has big bags under his eyes. She knows they are watching her, too, seeing her corrosion, drawing conclusions that must inevitably coincide. While in the meantime, hell freezes over, waiting for Bruce to bring it up. She says nothing to Michael about any of it. When they jack, the relief of not having to think about it sweeps her mind clean. She's there, in that moment, in a way she is never anywhere else, at any time, anymore. Bruce comes to see her one morning. She logs off, faces him, feels the numb patches around lips and wrist begin to throb. "We don't understand it," he begins. "Yeah, I know. There are various treatments being contemplated." He looks genuinely distressed. For the first time, it begins to dawn. This is more than breakdown. This is death. Or maybe, probably. Otherwise, why the careful face, the eyes that will not meet hers? Her voice rises, high vowels, hating the fear of it, but unable to quell. "We're thinking of relocating you," Bruce says. "All the handlers." "Where?" "South Carolina," he says. "The treatments—" Pause. "We don't want the subjects— we don't want to dismay them." Dismay? What am I supposed to tell him? She is shouting. No, she is screaming. What am I supposed to tell him? That I'm going on vacation? Really screaming now. Get hold of yourself, girl, part of her says, while the other keeps making noise. For God's sake, Halloran! Bruce is shaking her. That in itself quiets her down. It's so damned theatrical. For God's sake, Halloran. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Stop it. We have no concrete plans yet, he says. But when she is calm enough to listen. In fact, if you have any ideas about how to inform the subjects... He looks at her, hopeful. Get out, Bruce. I can't think about dying with that face of yours in the room. I'll be sure and send you a memo. It is dismissal. The tone comes easy. In the face of death, getting reprimanded seems somehow unimportant. Ha ha. You better stop it or you're going to flip right out. No more bogus reports. She sits, stares at her hands, thinking of Michael flying in the dark, thinking of that other dark, the real dark, the biggest dark of all. Oh, God, not me. Please, not me. Something's wrong. Michael, holding her close, his breath in her damp hair. Something's bad wrong, Halloran, and you better tell me what it is. Silence. Halloran, I don't want to dismay, worry you. It's a metabolic disturbance. And how easily, how gracefully the lies roll off her tongue. She could give lessons, teach a course, a short course. Don't get your balls in an uproar. And she laughs. You, he says, measured, considering, are a fucking liar. He is plugged in. Oh, yes, he's going to get to the bottom of this and none of her bullshit about metabolic disturbances. And he pins her down, jacks her in. One way or another, he's going to find out what the hell's going on around here. He finds out. South Carolina? What the hell do you mean, South Carolina? That's where they want to send us. Some kind of treatment center. A clinic. Voice rough and exhausted from hours of crying, of fighting to comfort. Bruce seems to think, well, you know, you saw. She is so immensely tired and somehow selfishly relieved. They share this, too. Don't ask me. Why can't they do whatever they have to do right here? There is that in him that refuses to think of it in any way other than a temporary malfunction. She will be treated. She will be cured. Why do they have to send you away? You know why. How the fuck can I work anyway? He is the one screaming now. How do they expect me to do anything? The bond, the tie that binds, cuts deeper than NASA intended, or wants. For all the teams, it is the same. The glassheads, even those whose handlers have, like Halloran, become token presences, want their handlers. They need them. Bruce and his people are in the unhappy position of trying to separate high-strung children from their very favorite stuffed animals now that the stuffing is coming out, and trying to disguise the disintegration at the same time. It is the quintessential no-win situation. Uncountable dollars down the drain with one batch, the other batch sniffing stress and getting antsy and maybe not able to work at all. And for the closest of them, Team Chronic, it is even worse. How do Siamese twins, happy Siamese twins, feel when the scalpel bites? Just a little more. Stop it! She is surly in her pain. You're not my mother. Stop trying to make me eat. You have to eat, asshole. He is all at once furious, weeks' worth of worry geysering now. How do you ever expect to get better if you don't eat? I'm not going to get better. Yes, you are. Don't even say that. You are going to get better. He says each word with the unshakable conviction of terror. And you'd be getting better faster if you'd just cooperate a little. Stop it. Stop making it my fault. She stands up, shaking. An observer, seeing her last a year ago, would be shocked silent at her deterioration. She is translucent with her illness, not ugly or wasted, but simply less and less there. They did this to me. She scratches at her neck, wild as if trying to dig out the jacks. They made me sick. It's not my fault, Michael. None of it is my fault. He starts to cry. I know. Hands over his face. I know. monotonously, and she sweeps the tray from the table, slapping food on the floor, spattering walls, kicking the plastic plate into flight. Then, on her knees beside him, exhausted from the strain of anger, her arms around him, rocking him gently back and forth as he grips her forearms and sobs as if his heart will break, as if his body will splinter with the force. "I know," she says, softly into his ear. "I know just how you feel. Don't cry. Please don't cry." "There goes the bastard," says a subordinate to Bruce as Michael slips past them down the corridor. "One minute he's tearing your head off because you touched his coffee cup. The next minute he won't even answer you or acknowledge you're alive. He's under enormous stress, Lou." "Yeah, I know." Lou bites a knuckle, considering. "You don't think he'll do anything, do you? To himself?" "No." Bruce looks unsure. "How about Arrowhead?" "No." Very sure. "He's totally committed to the project, that I know. His performance is still perfect." Which is simple truth. Michael's work is excellent, his findings impeccable, essential. It is his refuge. He clings to it as fiercely and stubbornly as he clings to Halloran. Bruce and Lou and all the Lous are meeting today to decide the next step in the separation process. The tandem quarters will be vacated. Each handler, how empty the title sounds now, will be put on a ward. The glassheads will be housed in new quarters with no memories in their walls or under their beds. This move will just be done. No discussion, no chance of input or hysterics or tantrums. Better for everyone, they tell each other solemnly. For them, too, but they don't say it. This daily tragedy is wearing everybody down. The move is a success, with one exception. "No," Michael says, with the simplicity of imminent violence. "Nope." Hand on the door, very calm. "No, she's not moving anywhere. I don't care who decided. I don't care about anything. She's staying right here, and you can go tell Bruce to fuck himself." And the door closes. Bruce is consulted. He says, "Let them be for today, and we'll think of something else tomorrow." What they think of is ways to mollify the other teams. Halloran is not moved. Arrowhead is, at bedrock, the project, essential. Everything else is a tangent. If consistent, outstanding results are obtained, as they are, then ways can be found, any ways, to keep them coming. The Glasshead project in toto is not such a crushing success, what with the first batch proving unsuitable and then unusable, that they can afford to tamper with that which produces its only reason for existing, its reason to be crude for any budget at all. Without Arrowhead, they can all fold up their tents tomorrow, and the data in itself is so compelling that it is unthinkable that the project not continue. So, Halloran stays. A conversation tires her. Her feet swell and deflate, with grim, comic regularity. Her lips bleed, her gums. She plays transplant, very loud, tells Michael she wishes she could jack right into the music so as to feel it, literally, in her bones. She lets him do almost everything for her when he is there. It calms and pleases him as much as he can be pleased any more. When they make love, he holds her like china, like thinnest crystal that a thought could shatter. They spend a lot of time in tears. "Oh, this is old," she whispers, stroking his back as he lies atop her. "This is just getting so old." There is no answer to that, so he gives none. He is too tired even to cry, or pound fists, or scream that their treatments are shit. Shit! He feels her heartbeat. It seems so strong. How can anyone who looks so sick have such a robust heartbeat? Thank God for it. Let it beat forever, till he and all the world is dust. Know what? What? Know what I'd like to do more than anything? He raises himself from her, moves to his side, and cradles her that way. What would you like to do? Arrowhead. The word makes a silence. Vacuum. Each knows what the other is thinking. Finally, Michael. It's a neurological strain, a big strain. It could hurt you. She laughs, not sarcastically, with genuine humor. What a tragedy that would be. More silence. There isn't a lot left, she says, very gently, that I can do. This, running her hand down his body, her touch ethereal. And that, just one ride. He doesn't answer. He can't answer. Anything he says would be cruel. She puts her hand on his cheek, strokes his skin, the blonde stubble. There is a lot she could say, many things. If you love me, one last chance, last favor. She would rather die, and for her it is not an academic pronouncement, than say those things, any of those things. All I care about, he says, finally, his voice deeper than she has ever heard it, is that I don't want to be a part of something that hurts you, but I guess it's already too late, isn't it? For her, there is no answer to that. Much later, you really want to do it? He can feel her nod in the dark. Shit. Okay, Michael says for the 10th time. It'll take me a couple minutes to get there, get plugged in. I'll get going, and then this, indicating a red LED, will pulse. You jack in then, okay? Please, mister, in a little girl's voice, undertone of pure delight. How do you work this thing? Okay, I'm sorry. He is smiling too, finally. Fasten your seatbelt, then. She is pale with excitement, back almost painfully rigid, his denim cap jaunty on her head. When he kisses her, he tastes the coppery flavor of blood. He leaves to march down the hall like Genghis Khan. Halloran's heart is thrashing as she jacks in, to the accompaniment of the LED. She feels Michael at once, a strong presence. Then, go. The slow dazzle of the slipstream night, rushing over her like black water, rich phosphorescence. Things passing, the alien perfection of Arrowhead, the flow and flower of things whose names she knows but now cannot fathom or try, the sense of flying, literal arrowheads splicing near to far, here to there, cutting, riding, past the farthest edge. It is wonder beyond dreams, more than she could have wished for either of them. Worth everything, every second of every pain, every impatience and disappointment of the last 2 years. She does not think these things in words or terms. The concept of rightness unfolds, origami, as she flies, and if she could spare the second, she would nod, yes, that's so. Michael, beside her, feels this rightness too, on his own or as a gift from her, he cannot tell, would not bother making the distinction. She is in ecstasy. She is inside him. They are both inside Arrowhead. He could ride this way forever, world without end. They find out, of course, Bruce and the others, almost at once. There is a warning monitor that is made to detect just this thing. They are in the tandem quarters. They forcibly unplug her. Michael feels her leaving, the abrupt disunity, and eyes open, screams, hands splayed across the air as Arrowhead gives a lurch. As soon as she is out of the system, she collapses, grinning. Bruce teeters on the edge of speechlessness. One assistant says, voice loud with disbelief, "Do you have any idea what you've just done to yourself? Do you know what's—" "No," she corrects, from the bottom of the tunnel, faces ringing her like people looking down a manhole. "No, you have no idea." South Carolina is a lot farther away than Proxima Centauri. You've been listening to pre-1990s speculative fiction readings with a highlight on science fiction by Darrell T. Smith II. Please consider clicking the donation link in the description box. Thank you so much for your time and your imagination.